mindset. If you want to become a competent, compassionate, inspiring and charismatic leader, you need, among many other qualities, be able to effectively set goals. You arrived at a stage of your life where you are questioning where you want to go. You see all these successful people killing it. The money, the freedom, the houses, the experiences, the clarity, the friends, the products, the seemingly ultimately fulfilling and perfect life. And then there is you. Whilst everyone is flashing past you, you are stuck in your chair, unable to move. So much information, so many opportunities, but no progression. Paralysis by analysis. In order to organize your life, you have to be able to set effective goals. This video teaches you 3 powerful goal setting rules which I adhere to. Now, what are these rules? What I want to briefly focus on is meta goal setting. Your current goal has to be nested into a bigger goal, which is again nested in an even bigger one. What am I talking about? Dr. Jordan Peterson very eloquently explains this in one of his lectures. He has this picture in which he shows the goal of making a complete meal. In order to reach that goal, you have to, for example, 1. Cut corn, 2. Set the table, and 3. Do the dishes. Then bang, you achieve the goal of making a complete meal. Now this goal is nested into a bigger goal, which has multiple of these smaller goals that add up to producing the higher goal, family care. This family care is again one of the smaller goals in order to be a good parent, and being a good parent is again a sub-goal of being a good person. Now what has this to do with your goal setting? A lot. Your aim with goal setting, with great goal setting, is to pave a rough roadmap that makes you act in alignment with 1. The place you want to go, and 2. With the person you want to become, leading the life you'd want to live. When you move closer to your goal, or your vision for that matter, you experience positive emotions. All of a sudden, life becomes fresh and exciting. You've probably noticed me talking about having a clear vision and thinking long term in my Laws of Power videos. My advice to you is this: know where you want to go in life and build your reputation and skill set aligned with that vision. Do not be a short-term thinker. Think long-term. As for the others, perform to the point you need it for your bigger goals and vision. When it doesn't bring me closer to my vision. Play for long-term power rather than quick victory. Play for long-term leadership rather than short-lasting leadership. Friends, enjoy long-term satisfaction instead of fleeting satisfaction. This framework is fantastic to conceptualize not only who you want to become, but also to conceptualize your goals over the long haul. The importance of this framework becomes clearer in the next point we're going to cover. But first, let's unlock this great goal-setting rule. Your goals have to be aligned within a higher goal, which is nested in your vision. This moves us to the second rule. Let me explain how I use the previously mentioned framework for my own goal setting. Part of my evening routine is setting my goals a day in advance, which is short term. I write down my most important task for the next day. When I reach that, my day is a win, a success. I also write down my secondary goals for that day. Now, what has this to do with the nesting of goals I just covered? Here is where that framework comes in handy. In order for me to set a coherent, purpose and meaningful daily goal, it has to be nested in a long-term goal. In this case, I extract the most important tasks of the weekly goals and put them as daily goals. See, every Sunday I write down what I want and/or have to do in the upcoming week. These also include fun activities I use as a reward. And this teaches my mind that I can have fun after doing the things I don't like to do. The question I ask myself is, what would be a good week in terms of getting closer to my goals? I write them down. In my productivity planner, which many of you have ordered already, I have a section for the 4 most important goals of the upcoming week. If you achieve all 4 of your weekly goals, at the end of the year, you'll have achieved 208 goals. Let that sink in, guys. See, my daily goals are based on these weekly goals. In the same way, my weekly goals are derived from my monthly goals. In the same way, my monthly goals are derived from my yearly goals. And in the same way, my yearly goals are part of my 3, 5, and 15-year goals. The pinnacle, the utmost top of hierarchy of goals of this framework is the perfect version of you, the perfect life with everything you ever wanted to achieve, and all you did was perform small, manageable tasks every single day on a consistent basis. The question this all might leave you with is, Shayan, how do I know where I want to be in 10 to 15 years? How can I think so far ahead? If you want me to make a video on setting a vision and I have 3 exercises to extract the most out of your life, put a comment below, and when that comment hits over 500 likes, I'll start working on that video. In that video, I'll get into the highest of human goods according to Aristotle, and also why you should deliberately negotiate with the future, and by doing this, you'll transform a certain amount of, in Jordan Peterson's terms, chaos into habitable order, mediating between your current self and the future self.
Well, I'm a new man.
And this will provide meaning and the associated positive emotions. And what are some other good byproducts, you ask? Competence, character, and confidence. Anyhow, let's move on with the second rule. The breaking down of big goals into small, actionable steps is a key component of effective goal setting. I showed you that on a bigger time frame, but you can do this also for short-term goals. Let's say the goal of yours is to do 500 push-ups over a period of time. Let's say a week. This may seem impossible to you at first, but when you divide that over, let's say, 5 days, so I'm excluding 2 rest days, that means 100 push-ups a day. Divide that by 4 times in a day, that's 25 push-ups every 4 hours of the day, which gives you 8 hours to sleep. 25 push-ups in 4 hours seems doable, don't you think? All of a sudden, that big 500 push-up goal is broken down into 25 push-ups in every 4 hours. Now, this example may be silly, but you can do this with virtually anything. If you need to get a degree, write down all the exams and allocate your time in accordance to that. Or perhaps you want to read 1 book a week, or every 2 weeks, or a month. It doesn't matter, count how many pages you need to read and divide that by the number of days you got. If it's a book of 280 pages, dividing that by 7 days equals 40 pages a day. Or if you want to finish it in 2 weeks, that equals 20 pages a day. If you read 1 book every 2 weeks, that will be 26 books at the end of the year, which is 260 books in 10 years and 1300 books in 50 years. Simple, right? Very powerful rule, guys. So let's unlock this one. Rule 2. Your goals have to be broken down into manageable pieces. This rule perfectly ties in with the last one of this video. Friends, before we move to the last rule, I want to thank every single one of you for the great support throughout these videos. Every like and comment you place helps a lot with growing the channel. I've tried to answer many of the questions you had on Instagram regarding goals, but there are so many left unanswered. I'll get to those in future videos. Questions like these, for example. Also, right now I'm juggling with this YouTube channel along with writing my thesis since I'm in the last year of university, and also with me working in a dental practice. So I am grateful for you patiently waiting for the videos. After I graduate, I'll set up a system that will enable me to upload new videos once in every 2 weeks, if not once a week. For the people who are new here, the goal of this channel is to provide you tools and strategies that you can implement in your life so you can achieve your desired goals and dreams. In an ethical manner, that is. Even more importantly, to maximize your potential. If that is something that resonates with you, consider subscribing. Last thing, if you want to see what some of my goals are in the upcoming year, follow me on Instagram. Let's continue with the video. This is a short but important one, and it has a dark side to which is exactly the reason why most people don't set goals in the first place. In order to hit a goal, you have to specify it. What do I mean? If your goal is to be fit, rich, or even charismatic, you'll never attain it until you specify it. What exactly is being fit to you? What body fat percentage or body weight or certain measurements are you going for? What does being rich mean? Is it an X amount of money in the bank or in assets? Or is it a certain net worth or a specific amount of income? Is it just income or do you mean profit? The same goes for becoming charismatic. What qualities does a charismatic person have? In order to set great goals, you have to make them measurable. In the same way we made the push-up goal measurable. If we set the goal as, I want to do a lot of push-ups, you can cheat yourself along the way, but by specifying to that 500 push-up goal, it becomes measurable along the way. The same thing with the number of pages you read, which was nested in the amount of books you want to read. So what's the dark side of specifying your goals? The reason you, just like the vast majority of people, do not set up a to-do list or a productivity system or a goal is because of failure. To be more exact, fear of failure. If you don't have a metric to measure against, there is no way to fail, right? When you specify a goal, you also specify conditions for failure. You might think, I don't want to set up goals and therefore the conditions for failure because I want to just live. Cool, but listen, you are a human being. The human animal is a goal-seeking creature. Who was it? Aristotle. By the way, he has a great influence on my mind. It was Aristotle who said, man is a goal-seeking animal. His life only has meaning if he is reaching out and striving for his goals. You have to realize that your neurological circuitry is adapted to setting goals throughout the hundreds and thousands of years of evolution. We are adapted to hunt and gather. When you set a goal, you all of a sudden have an aim, a target, a focus point to home in on. You create a value system right in that moment you set your eyes on and aim at something. And then you know where you are in relation to that goal. As you move closer to it, just like our ancestors chasing a prey, you feel all kinds of positive emotions, like dopamine pushing you forward. You're feeling alive. And this is a result of your incentive reward system that's flooding your brain by telling you, yes, you're on the right track, keep on going. Here, have a little dopamine. That feels good. And your brain conditions you to do it again and again. However, the opposite is also true when you move away from your goal because of weakness, depletion of willpower, or whatever other reason you experience negative emotion. It's important to differentiate between your incentive and your satiating reward system, a topic I won't cover for now. And as you may know in general, negative emotions are stronger in a sense than positive emotion. And this answers our question on why you don't set goals. You want to avoid the negative emotions that are accompanied by failure. By setting a goal, you set a parameter for failure. You have metrics to hold yourself accountable to. If I don't do, for example, 500 push-ups this week, I fail. And who wants to fail? So you play it safe and don't set goals. That's totally understandable, guys, but this leads you to live a life of mediocrity. If that's what you want, that's okay, it's your life, but this video and this channel is not for you. If you don't want to grow and instead want to mindlessly drift through life and that is fulfilling to you, man, more power to you. That's just not how I'm wired. And most likely the vast majority of the people watching this video isn't either. So the third great goal setting rule is, your goals have to be measurable. Friends, I originally narrowed down to 10 goal setting rules, but for the sake of brevity, I choose these 3. I didn't get into why goal setting leads to a solid foundation of confidence if you fulfill them, that is. Or on how to actually achieve the goals, on how to form truly powerful, long-lasting habits, on time management, scheduling, and micro habits. Friends, there are many things to consider if you want to become productive, like eliminating distractions and how to keep a clean environment, which includes dealing with and selecting the right friends, and often a harder one, dealing with family. If you want me to make videos on the other rules and topics as well, let me know in the comments below. A video on my insanely powerful and productive morning routine will be made. But first, either a Laws of Power video will be uploaded and an extremely powerful archetype video. The question I want to leave you with is, which scene of Peaky Blinders would you want me to break down for another body language analysis? And whether you are interested in a video on how to make a killer first impression on a job interview and how to actually nail that interview in terms of what to say, what to wear, how to conduct yourself towards someone higher up the corporate ladder. This was Shayan, and until the next one, evolve and contribute.